In just a couple minutes, we're going to find out what this classic song from the 1970s has to do with this man. I am Damonous. Jesus is my king. You are my family. So George Papadopoulos was sentenced to 14 days in jail for lying to the FBI in the Robert Mueller probe. This just came out the other day, September 7th. Former Trump campaign aide George Papadopoulos and his wife arrives for his sentencing hearing at the U.S. District Court in Washington. The man whose boozy conversation with a diplomat may have launched the federal government's investigation into Russian election interference was sentenced Friday to 14 days in jail and 1 year of supervised release for lying to the FBI. You know, State Rep Tim Leonard in December of 2016 was also sentenced to 14 days for contempt of court. In October of 2017, there was a dad who gave marijuana to his sons, and he got 14 days in jail. In February of this year, there's an unruly visitor who got a 14-day stay. Female visitor who kicked a cop in the groin and refused to be searched on arrival at the airport was sentenced to 14 days in jail. Here's a nasty case of road rage. A 34-year-old Fowlerville area man was who admitted to pointing a handgun at a woman while driving on Interstate 96 in November was sentenced to jail for 14 days. Maybe on the little more serious side of an offense, Hussein Louai sent to jail for 14 days. This was in July of 2018 from The Nation. And they state that the vice chairperson of Summit Bank and Pakistan Stock Exchange head was arrested on July 6th in a case relating to 29 fake bank accounts. You know, it's not always hard stuff that gets you 14 days in jail. You could get 14 days in jail for clicking your fingers a couple of times. A magistrate's decision to charge a man with contempt of court and jail him for 14 days because he clicked his fingers in twice in court. It can be serious too, as we've seen. Teen sentenced to 14 days in jail. A teen guilty of spraying whiteboard cleaner in his teacher's soda last year will spend 14 days in county jail as a condition of his 2 years of probation. Looks like Lindsay Lohan spent a couple weeks in jail too. Bobby Brown, he's been there, 14 days in jail for probation violation. And coming back to our entrance. Drum roll, please. Yvonne Eilman and her husband were sentenced to 14 days in connection with drugs found at the airport back in March of this year. So I thought we should give a little bit of help to George Papadopoulos. There's an inmate survival guide. How to survive 2 weeks, 14 days in jail. Surviving 2 weeks in jail is not that different from surviving jail for 24 hours. However, some people believe that the more time you spend in jail, the higher your chances of being harassed or assaulted by an inmate. So, don't disrespect the arresting officers. They're there to help. Do not fight with fellow inmates. Fighting with fellow inmates can lead to serious injuries to both of you. Do not become an easy target. Don't look like a wimp. Do not associate with a troublesome inmate. They might instigate trouble inside the jail and get you involved with that. Don't trust anybody right away. Do not tell on another inmate. No one likes a tattletale. Do not hesitate to ask for help, though. Remember, the officers are your friends. Always keep in contact with a loved one. Never discuss the details of your case. George, you might have a problem here, so you might want to keep a little tight-lipped. But most importantly, pass the time productively. If there's something jail has a lot of, it's time. Sometimes you just gotta ask Reddit what to expect during my 10 days in county jail. Yeah, it's 10, but 14, we'll cover that with that. Jail isn't that big a deal. If you get a decent judge, since you have so little time, you'll probably be able to serve your time on the weekends if you have prior commitments. Jail is much less dangerous than TV portrays it. It's mostly boredom, followed by more boredom. And there's a lot of advice here about not picking up the soap. Now, I'm not trying to make light here of
jail, or that it's something that where I would want to be, or that anyone would want to be in jail.
But for nearly the past 2 years,
we've been hearing about Robert Mueller's probe and the investigation into Russian interference in the election
caused by collusion between the Trump campaign and Russian officials.
If the best they got is a 14-day sentence on this guy, what are we wasting America's time and money for?
If anything, I encourage President Trump to pardon this man. And you know what? It would be a great Trumpian thing. All he'd have to do is say, I'm going to pardon this guy because, hey, it's only 14 days, and what difference does it make?
America, and probably the people I'm talking to right now, know this, but it's all a big farce.
Thanks for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel. Catch me on these alternate media sources.